guys, I want to mention that video. Sorry, I've been off for a little bit, but I am back with another review for this year. And today, I am reviewing Micheal, the Michael Jackson biopic starring Jafar Jackson. The early life of the the plot is the early life of the musician Michael Jackson, from the discovery of his talent as the leader of the Jackson 5 to the artist whose creative ambition fueled a pursuit to become the biggest entertainer in the world. Now, I wanted to see this movie for a few weeks, and I couldn't get around to do it sooner, unfortunately, because I've been pretty busy and I only have 2 days off. But I was like, I need to see this. I need to give this my 2 cents. I like Michael Jackson's music, but you always hear mixed things of like, he did this, he did that, blah blah blah. So I try to just basically wiped my brain out and just was like, I'm just excited to see a movie, let alone a movie that's gonna have a lot of Michael's songs in it that I really dig his music. Seeing this movie, it was a little concerning to me because of some of the stuff that you hear about Michael Jackson. But now, since this is mainly about him evolving as a musician and him becoming the Michael Jackson that we all know and love, I'm curious to see what they do for the second part. That's what's gonna make me very curious to see what ends up happening in the second part because of the stuff that wasn't included in this. I don't really get why this movie is getting so much hate. I feel like that this movie is for the fans of Michael Jackson and not for movie critics. This is one of those things where it's like, this is one of those movies that everyone was so impugning this movie before, like, even before it came out. It was like, oh my god, it's one of the worst movies ever, blah blah blah. And it's like, but when you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, the audience really like it. Like, it's really high. And you look at the critic score, it's really low. And so that to me is like one of those ones where it's like, critics, this movie is not for you. This is for the fans of Michael Jackson and the people that love his music and want to know about his backstory and how he became Michael Jackson. It's just one of those things. This movie actually got me singing to myself in the cinema because I always try to keep myself quiet for things like this. But a musician that I already know a lot of the songs, you can't help but at least sing or hum in the theatre. I really liked learning about how Michael Jackson actually had a pretty bad father. That is something that he always talks about in interviews, is that his father was abusive. He didn't like him. He would smack him with his belt and stuff like that. They show a lot of that, which I thought was very ballsy. I was like, gosh, okay. I never thought that would go that far. So it was actually very interesting to see that. And then when you see a lot of the music stuff and you see the music side of it, whether if it's the live shows or the music videos, they did a fantastic job at doing those live performances. They nailed them to a T, because it's one of those things where it's like, you look at it and you're like, that is great. That is exactly how that music video or that shoot went down. And speaking of the music videos, being a person whose dream is to work in the movie industry, I love seeing behind the scenes. So seeing the behind the scenes of both Thriller and Beat It was actually very interesting to me, and actually how much Michael Jackson had a say in his music videos. I thought that was incredible because the Beat It scene was great. I especially loved the Thriller scene because it really showed you the how Thriller basically Michael had a lot to say with the behind the scenes of that. How originally they were like, oh, let's just see their faces, their body, and their arms when they're doing this bit. But really, Michael Jackson was like, no, we need to see like us from head to toe. That's the only way that this is gonna work. So the fact that he actually had a lot to say shocked me, and I really loved how the behind the scenes of those music videos were actually interwoven into the movie. I will say this: the one bit that kind of did make me go like, this movie's coming a little bit slow for me now, is after the accident is after Michael Jackson's head injury, when they're going to do the comeback tour and they're doing the Coca-Cola ad and things like that. That was the bit that's like, okay, like, I get it's important and I really like moments in there, but overall it really drags. I don't think it's like an Oppenheimer thing where, like, because if you know, I think I said this in my Oppenheimer review, but like I said in my Oppenheimer review, I feel like that they should have ended the movie as soon as the bomb went off, because that was the goal. They built the bomb, they dropped it, it worked. So I don't think you should do that in this movie, because there's no point of cutting it after he gets his head up and caught in flames. So I feel like that you needed that for the end bit to work, because the end bit was the comeback tour, but really was the final tour. Michael Jackson saying goodbye to the fans of the Jackson 5 so he can produce his own music, and then that's how you get the awesome bad performance at the end of the movie before the credits. I want to give a shout out to Jafar Jackson, because he really embodied his uncle, and the way that Michael speaks, the way that he danced, he really embodies his uncle, and I loved that about it. I think that that was great. I think that worked to a T in this movie. Jafar is amazing. Like, they can make 10 of these biopics and he can play his uncle, like, because he's just that good in them. I'm going to give Michael 4 out of 5 stars. This movie was really enjoyable. I liked it a little bit more than Song Sang Blue, that I will review, because I haven't done that yet, but I am going to do that. That came out early in the year, because I knew the music in this movie, at least most of them. I knew, like, even the ones that weren't performances, even the bits that were just like how people would just put, how movies would normally put just a song that isn't for the movie into the movie. Like, even the Michael Jackson songs that didn't have a big part, like Rocker and Robin, you hear that for a little bit. I knew that song. Obviously, I knew I Want You Back because of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I knew of ABC. I knew of, like, a lot of the music in this. So this actually made me have a lot more fun than Song Sang Blue. But yeah, so guys, please hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, subscribe, press the little bell icon to get notified of future videos I make. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.